The F1 world just witnessed one of the most shocking dismissals in the sport's history. Christian Horner, the man who built Red Bull Racing from nothing into a championship-winning machine, has been sacked with immediate effect. After 20 years at the helm, the longest-serving team principal in Formula One is out, and the timing couldn't be more brutal. When Christian Horner took over Red Bull Racing in January 2005 at just 31 years old, nobody could have predicted what was coming. He was the youngest team principal on the grid, taking charge of a team that had just been transformed from the struggling Jaguar outfit. In their first race under his leadership, David Coulthard finished fourth in Australia. It was a promising start, but what followed was beyond anyone's wildest dreams. Under Horner's guidance, Red Bull would go on to win 8 Drivers' Championships and 6 Constructors' titles. First came the Sebastian Vettel era, with 4 consecutive championships from 2010 to 2013. Then, after years of Mercedes dominance, Horner orchestrated another dynasty with Max Verstappen, who claimed 4 straight titles from 2021 to 2024. But championships don't tell the whole story. Horner transformed Red Bull from an energy drink company's marketing experiment into one of the most professional and successful operations in motorsport history. He poached the best talent, including legendary designer Adrian Newey from McLaren, and created a culture of excellence that seemed unbreakable, until it all started falling apart. The cracks first appeared in May 2024 when McLaren caught up to Red Bull's once dominant car. What seemed like a temporary setback turned into a catastrophic decline. By the 2025 season's halfway point, Red Bull had plummeted to 4th place in the Constructors' Championship, trailing McLaren by a staggering 288 points. Ferrari and Mercedes had also overtaken them. Max Verstappen managed to win just 2 races in the first 12 rounds of 2025, a far cry from his previous dominance. The British Grand Prix at Silverstone would be Horner's last race in charge, watching Verstappen spin from pole position to finish 5th in the wet conditions. Oliver Mintzlaff, Red Bull's CEO of corporate projects and investments, made the call that shocked the paddock. Dutch journalist Eric van Haren broke the news, writing, "The bomb has dropped at Red Bull Racing. Team boss and CEO Christian Horner has been sacked after more than 20 years. According to reports, the Thai shareholding of Red Bull, led by Chalerm Uvidya, had lost patience with the team's decline. But the performance issues were just the tip of the iceberg. The real damage had been done earlier, starting with allegations that emerged in February 2024. A female Red Bull employee accused Horner of inappropriate behaviour, triggering an investigation that would cast a shadow over everything that followed. While Horner was twice cleared by independent investigators, the scandal created deep divisions within the team. Leaked WhatsApp messages allegedly between Horner and the complainant spread through the F1 paddock like wildfire. The employee was suspended, filed appeals, and is now taking the case to a UK employment tribunal scheduled for January 2026. The scandal didn't just damage Horner's reputation, it tore the team apart from within. Jos Verstappen, Max's father, publicly called for Horner's removal, saying he would tear the team apart. The relationship between Horner and Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko deteriorated. Most devastatingly, it contributed to an exodus of key personnel that would cripple the team's competitiveness. First to leave was Adrian Newey, the genius designer behind every Red Bull Championship car. In April 2024, during the Japanese Grand Prix weekend, Newey decided he'd had enough. He later revealed, "I started to feel as if we were going a little bit stale. I think the guys also felt as if perhaps they needed to show that they could do it on their own." By March 2025, Newey was officially at Aston Martin, taking his unmatched expertise with him. The departures didn't stop there. Jonathan Wheatley, sporting director since 2006, announced his exit to become Sauber's team principal. Rob Marshall left for McLaren. Will Courtney was poised to join McLaren as well. The brain drain was devastating, and it showed on track as Red Bull's car development stalled while rivals surged ahead. Perhaps the most concerning development for Red Bull is Max Verstappen's situation. The 4-time world champion has been heavily linked with Mercedes throughout 2025. George Russell revealed that his own contract negotiations were complicated by Mercedes' ongoing conversations with the likes of Verstappen. Toto Wolff admitted to being in talks about signing the Dutchman, while Verstappen publicly stated it would be amazing to spend his entire career at Red Bull. His contract reportedly contains exit clauses that could be triggered if he's not in the top 4 at the summer break. With Horner gone, Verstappen's future becomes even more uncertain. His camp, including Father Jos, had been openly critical of Horner. Now, with Red Bull in turmoil and Mercedes promising a competitive 2026 car, the temptation to leave might be overwhelming. As Martin Brundle noted, losing Verstappen would leave Red Bull in a pretty dire situation. Taking over from Horner is Laurent Mekies, promoted from his role as Racing Bull's team principal. The Frenchman brings a wealth of experience but faces an almost impossible task. He inherits a team that's lost its key technical leaders, has a demotivated workforce, and faces the very real prospect of losing the sport's best driver. Mekies said, "The spirit of the whole team is incredible, and I strongly believe that this is just the beginning, but actions will speak louder than words." Racing Bull's Alain Permain moves up to replace Mekies, creating a complete restructuring of Red Bull's management. It's a gamble that could either revitalise the organisation or accelerate its decline. Red Bull's statement thanking Horner for his exceptional work over the last 20 years feels hollow given the brutal nature of his dismissal. This wasn't a graceful exit or mutual agreement, it was a sacking born of desperation. The team that once dominated Formula One is now fighting for survival, and they've made Horner the scapegoat. The timing is particularly cruel with new regulations coming in 2026. This is when teams need stability and long-term planning, not upheaval and uncertainty. Red Bull will be designing their own engines for the first time, partnering with Ford. They needed Horner's experience more than ever, but poor results and lingering scandal made his position untenable. For Horner personally, this represents a spectacular fall from grace. Once F1's golden boy, featured prominently in Drive to Survive and married to Spice Girl Geri Halliwell, he leaves under a cloud that may never fully clear. The employment tribunal case ensures this story isn't over. What we're witnessing is the potential end of Red Bull's era of dominance. From the pinnacle of motorsport to a team in crisis, all in less than 2 years. Christian Horner built an empire, but empires fall, and in Formula One they fall fast. The question now is whether Red Bull can rebuild without the man who made them great, or if this is the beginning of a long, painful decline. One thing's certain, Formula One just got a lot more interesting. What do you think about Horner's shocking exit? Can Red Bull recover, or is this the end of their championship-winning days? Let us know in the comments below, and if you want to stay updated on all the latest F1 drama and breaking news, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. This is just the beginning of what promises to be an explosive, silly season in Formula One.